This is Etemahima Akusia Ode Walker. Please continue to watch Morris TV.
Please be seated.
The Volta Regional Minister, my good friend Mr. Guzitano, Chairman of the NDC in the Volta region, other ministers of state, members of parliament, if any, Togbe Mahama, Your Grace, the Bishop of Ho, and other members of the clergy, members of the Public Service Commission, very distinguished chairpersons, chief directors, and chief executives, members of the media. Good morning. We are gathered here today for the annual conference of chairpersons of governing boards and councils, chief directors, and chief executives of the public service of Ghana. And our theme is strengthening the public sector leadership and governance to enhance service delivery. It's a great honor and privilege for me to stand before His Excellency and this very diverse group of experts and professionals who are making great contributions to the development of our country. And on behalf of the chiefs and people of the Volta region, I welcome you all to Ho. And I thank you so much for the honor of being asked to chair this very important meeting. In the next 2 days, we shall be listening to various speakers, experienced professionals whose experience span various fields and various disciplines. And we are meeting, I think, at a very important time, a time of great change in our country. Change that's been inspired by demand for better management of the economy. This demand coming from our citizens for better management of the economy to bring about growth, stability, job creation, enhance standards of living, and of course the provision of the basic necessities of life. This desire for better living standards has further inspired great commendable initiatives and policies by the government. Among others, of course, we have the famous oral. We also have the 24-hour economy. We have the big push, which was launched recently in Ho here. And we have several other policies and in various sectors: education, health, agriculture, and etc. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, success in all of these programs requires strong, hardworking, and efficient public servants. Of course, not the types described by A. Eladu as lions of Trafalgar Square, playing from dusk or from dawn to dusk. Hence, the need for continuous learning, the need for continuous education, and which is why we are here over the next 2 days to network, to share knowledge, to share experiences, and to strategize. And this is why the opportunity begins to the president himself to also share his vision with a group of professionals whose mandate it is to promote and to execute government policies and programs for the realization of the goals of growth, stability, job creation, enhancement of living standards, and etc., which are the ultimate desires of our people. Apart from being hardworking, it also requires civil servants who are creative enough to be agents of change and not custodians of the status quo. We need agents of change to ensure that Ghana stays abreast of developments in the global economy so we can hold our own when economic development is concerned. It will require that over the next 2 days, we all are active participants in the discussions that will be taking place here. Not just listeners, but active participants, so we can share our experiences and our knowledge to enrich the discussions that will happen, and also to create the continuous learning, education that would ensure that we all are creative or become more creative and therefore support the change that our nation desires. Let me remind participants about the emphasis on enhancing leadership in the theme for the program for today and tomorrow. Leadership is important, and let's remember it requires teamwork. So we have to learn to work as a team right from here, and then carry that spirit to our various workplaces. Teamwork, I say, is what produces the 1 + 1 = 3 effect. Very important. It also requires that as leaders, we ensure transparency in everything that we do. Transparency requires continuous communication. Also requires planning as the ultimate communication tool. And most importantly, as leaders, we need to demonstrate honesty in everything that we do. I said it during the Deba of the Asogli State last Saturday. And the biggest challenge we face is our inability to hold onto the path of strictest honesty. That is what has fueled or allowed corruption to fester. That is why I've always described oral as one of the most important initiatives of government, because I see corruption as the biggest challenge to our development, and it stems from our inability to hold onto the path of strictest honesty. Of course, the theme also emphasizes governance. Good governance also requires the same, honesty. So as leaders, if we ensure transparency, continuous communication with our members, would enhance teamwork and derive the most from the participation of all others. But very importantly also, as I said, we need honesty. Honesty is the most essential ingredient for good governance. I encourage you all to be active participants over the next 2 days, so that our experiences will be enriched. So we can live here after 2 days feeling we have had our time well spent, and of course live with great memories, great experiences to take to the workplace to support the government's agenda, so that the desire for our people for better economic management that will lead to growth, stability, more job creation, and enhanced living standards will be achieved. I'm very optimistic that indeed the next 2 days will be very well spent, and Ghana will be the better for it.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGA.